Hi, team. This is George. Welcome to class. I hope you're having a fantastic start. I want to jump in. I'm going to post separate videos on the naturalistic observation overview and our signature assignment as well. Right now, I just want to kind of say welcome and then talk about our discussions a little bit. In order to earn full points for your discussion question responses, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Is first off, the initial response, use a source to support your stance, your argument, whatever it may be. Use a source and cite your source within the writing that you do. So if you make a statement, make a point, cite within the text, and put the reference below within the discussion. We're going to be going over this APA sort of stuff all throughout our class, just because in psychology, that's what we're supposed to write to. It's the American Psychological Association standard. So we're going to be picking little parts and pieces of APA and focusing on them for each week. So we'll pick 8 things. So this week, our focus is going to be on writing our references and in-text citations. And I'll be posting different comments and stuff about that as well to help us out. Now, these APA things we're going to focus on each week doesn't mean it will be crazy over grading on APA. What it means is we're going to use this as a learning opportunity. So as we become professionals in our field of psychology, we write better and better and better, because remember, APA is not just about the mechanics of writing as far as references and citations and all that, but it's also about how we write, making things gender neutral, for instance, if it needs to be, things like that. So we're going to focus on that this week. But for our discussions, if you want full points, the way to do it is write something meaningful, of course, but you support your thoughts in your initial post with a reference and in-text citation. Because in psychology, as you already know, there's not a lot of things that are binary, yes, no, right, wrong. There are many things that are supported through other ways. So there's multiple strategies that may work to get to one place. So there oftentimes is not just one answer. So that's why we want to be evidence-based and support our assertions that we make in our initial discussions. And the next thing in the discussion is our peer responses. So an easy way to make sure that you gain full points on our peer responses are to add to the conversation. So instead of just um, not recycling, but instead of just restating what the other person wrote or making a small comment, add something to the conversation. So add from your experience, ask a question, or uh, something of that nature. So you have to add to the conversation that's there. So, and when I say things like ask a question or add your experience, make it a fairly substantial post to garner the full points. So instead of just looking at one response and then asking a question of it, that's when you can restate, okay, I like your point about this. It's been my experience that when I do this, this happens, something like that. That's kind of how to further the conversation. What do you think about this? Or have you read about that? Those are things that help forward the conversation. And we'll be looking at these throughout the course. Hopefully, I'll be role modeling these appropriately in the discussion forums weekly, so we get a gist on exactly how to roll through these, because you want to be good, because when it comes to discussion forums and things like that, you're going to use them professionally as well. It'll be in a different context, of course, than academia, but um, forums and things like this are a great place to share knowledge. So we want to make sure that we are very good at what we do when we represent ourselves outside. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes I may not. My apologies if I don't. But let's have a fantastic week and jump in and have a good time.